Alright, y'all, this is technically going to be part 3 to my videos about quantum immortality. If you don't know what that is, you can go look it up. I've already explained it in my first and second video. The quick version of it is that it's believed that by some people that when you die, your conscious transfers to a timeline where you survived and you don't perceive death, you continue on, but your family thinks of you as dead in that reality, because they're still having a physical experience in that reality. Well, as time goes on and I've learned about this, I have put more thought into my life. And the stories I told within the last 2 videos started from 2011 on up. Times that I thought I could have died and jumped timelines, having close calls, things I shouldn't have survived and whatnot. I actually remembered another one from 2001 when I was 11. Me, my mom, and my brother got real sick, and at that time spinal meningitis was a thing going around, and I have this very vivid memory of them telling me and my mom that we were sick and could have it, so they had to do a spinal tap, which they did. And I remember it was painful. I remember the position I had to lay down. I remember my mom holding my hand. And then I remember while they were doing the testing, they had me hooked to IVs. I'm going through this whole process, but I'm coming in and out of consciousness, having kind of like, I guess you would call it like fever dreams. But I was having like visions and dreams. And I would wake up and tell everybody that I was dehydrated, I was sick, whatever. Well, after it was all said and done, they said we were good. I was actually pissed that I had to go through that for nothing, because it was very painful. But I was relieved that I was going to be all right. Life went on as normal. Well, the weirdest thing about all this is, just like another story I told where I thought I unalived myself and my girl said it never happened, the conversation we had the night before and the events I remember happening the night before, she said they never took place. That's mind-boggled me ever since that day. Same scenario. My mom says this never happened, that I never had a spinal tap, they never thought we had spinal meningitis. That just blows me away. I'm like, how was that possible? And it literally feels like I died when I was going in and out of consciousness and jumped to this timeline. And it made me think, I'm like, as far back as I can remember, that would be the first time that I could have possibly died. Because this theory states we could die like many times without realizing it, because they're saying that there's an infinite amount of parallel universes, parallel realities, where we live different lives. Some are better than others, some are just slightly different, whatever. I also had a situation in 1997 when my uncle accidentally ran me over. He was racing down the street, and I come down the driveway and started gunning it on a bicycle, and he was in a big van. And I tried to squeeze between him and the house. My handlebar clipped the side. I ping-ponged back and forth, slid down, and he went dum-dum and ran me over. And I ended up getting a fractured hip and a broke leg and like a dislocated shoulder on all 3 all the way down. Matter of fact, it still does that weird ass shit to this day. But I don't know if I would consider that one part that I could have died, because it was just body injuries. But I also remember thinking, how did this van run over my left side of my body and I was all right? I don't know. But fast forward a little bit more to 2009. I got to leave certain details out for obvious reasons. There was a situation when some people were mad at some people. There was a fight that broke out. Somebody started shooting, and they let off 17 shots with a 9mm. And I remember bullets whizzing past me, hitting stop signs, car alarms going off. A house got hit because I seen it on the news the next day. The same house I hid behind when I jumped and went like this to see if I got hit, and then kept running. We all got separated. Everybody that I was with, we all ran different directions. And I was cutting through yards and whatnot. Dogs are barking. Shit was crazy. Well, I seen the next day, dude was saying that this old man was laying there watching Jeopardy or Bingo or some Price is Right or some shit. And he had his oxygen mask on, and he heard 2 sounds go, which was the wood breaking. And he heard all the gunshots, of course. but he was saying how close they came to hitting his oxygen tank. And I remember thinking, that old man don't even know I was hiding next to his porch, like squatted down, and I would have got blowed up too. Now I'm sitting there thinking, like, is there a timeline where it did hit the fucking oxygen tank and blow up? Or did I get shot in the back of the head because I heard them whiz by. I don't know how close they was, but they whizzed like zoom, zoom, and it was like breaking the sound barrier of the wind. And I could see they looked like little cigarette cherries before I actually took off running and I seen them. They looked like cigarette cherries coming down the dark alleyway, but they would lose their velocity and go like this. They wasn't like in the movie where it just goes in a straight line. They come flying down and go. Well, anyways, that's another situation. So you got me getting ran over. You got me getting deathly sick. You got me getting shot at very close to getting hit. You got the car crash in 2011. You got the time I almost got, I think I got electrocuted by a power pole line. The other time I got a car crash, almost got into a car crash because I stopped right at the red light that was flashing, and I almost went, and a semi came through perfectly, and my heart pumped because I remember thinking, damn, this semi would have collided with me perfect if I would have stopped, and there was no other cars on the road. It's like 3 in the morning, I was leaving a party. So that's all those times. There's a time I literally thought that I unalived myself, going through some pretty deep shit. Then there was a time that I overdosed and woke up with vomit in my lungs. I aspirated. I had to go to the psych unit because they thought I tried to kill myself that time because I had a journal that I was writing to my kids. But anyways, the more I think about this shit, I'm like, what if we all die a bunch of times in our life and just don't realize it? Oh, here's another close call. It was like 2013 or 14. Me and my girl and our kids were all babies. Might only been 2 of our 3 kids was even born, actually. And we're driving down East Market, leaving, I forget where we was. And she sees something and I see something. She's like, babe, what is that? And we look in the rear view. There's a truck that's flying, right? But it's cutting across the lanes. As this truck come cutting across the lanes in our rear view, it went right next to us, but behind us, and it would have hit our kids in the car seats in the back. And it went behind us, next to us, hit the curve, and flipped, like rolled on its side. Boom. So we all stop. Everybody stops. There's this kid screaming and crying. Come to find out, the dad overdosed while he was driving, lost control of the car, flipped it, was out cold. It was on its side. Some dude jumped out, grabbed a baseball bat, and smacked the window, got the kid out. They dragged dude out, called 911. I mean, it was just so many crazy things in my life. And there's things that I'm not even sharing. There's a lot of things in my mind that I just keep bottled up. This might be why I have night terrors to this day. People know I got 2 videos on here from our security cameras that shows like some of my sleep paralysis and night terrors and whatnot. Also, one more traumatic thing that my girl went through also, we seen this dude Camo get ran over and killed. It was about 2015. We was at the Sahara Club, also on East Market. He was a homeless dude who would push a cart with his blankets and clothes and maybe some scrap metal cans, things like that. He got hit, and I'll never forget my girl screaming, shaking me, saying, babe, help him, help him. And I knew he was gone. I could see it in his eye. He was staring into the sky. He had bones showing in his body. He had blood coming from his nose and mouth. I'm just sharing these with y'all to show you things that we've been through, and maybe that's why I have the problems I have. But I do believe there's something going on with life and death. Who's to say that he didn't wake up, Camo, that he didn't wake up, climb out of his bed, and he wasn't even homeless in another reality? You know, who knows? We really don't know what's going on with this place we call Earth and this physical existence we call life. I just wanted to share some of the skeletons in my closet, in my mind with y'all. It's definitely not all of them, sadly, but it feels good to vent sometimes. So I appreciate this little video, sharing with y'all. And until next time, stay safe, stay free. God bless.